Hello, everyone, and welcome to the virtual Kansas Speedway. I'm your host, Mark Murphy, for tonight's 125 lap event at the virtual Kansas Speedway in the NTRL Prospec Xfinity Series. I am joined not by Justin Petchower tonight. He is out due to a family event, and so it'll be me and myself and I with you this evening. Looking forward to a fun 125 laps here at Kansas. This is the fourth to last, so we have had 6 races so far in the regular season. This is round 7. There are 3 to go after tonight in an exciting and tight points battle. Next week we'll be at Richmond, 2 weeks in Chicago, 3 weeks in Michigan, and then the playoffs begin, as you can see, Charlotte, Atlanta, Iowa, Las Vegas, and Talladega. The championship race at Homestead on November 11th, but we should be here every week until then. Last week at Rockingham, it was Caleb Sisk. It was Caleb Sisk on the pole. Caleb led the most laps, and he took home the win from Chris Gones and Michael Bennett. Michael Bennett was the hard charger in that event. Chris Gones did have the fastest lap. In terms of points, Matt Sisler does lead the point standings 251. Chris Gones just 2 markers behind, and Alfie Sharon 4 back. Zeth Hawley 24 behind, and Nick Biddy 42 markers in arrears round out your top 5. Tonight, there are several things that we're going to be looking at. The Sisler, Sisk, Chris Gones, and Alfie Sharon Jr. Foursome. Those 4 cars have really separated themselves from the pack, and so we're going to be looking and keeping track of those 4 cars in particular. This track is notoriously rough on tires, and so when I looked at the rules before the event, 3 sets. That means 2 in the pits and 1 on the automobile. So tires are going to be at a premium. The fuel is set for 65%. That means these guys should be able to do anywhere between 30 and 40 laps on a fuel run. So they're really going to be trying hard to hit that 2-stopper, that 3-stint strategy. Get a little bit of help with a yellow, maybe come in and top on up. You might be able to stretch that a little bit further, but that's going to be a storyline too. This track is notoriously rough on tires for reasons I'm going to mention in just a little bit. And they do get 1 fast repair here at Kansas. Just some quick facts about this racetrack. It was opened in 2001. It has not been repaved since then, and so Kansas notoriously rough on tires. After anywhere between 5 and 10 laps, you'll see these guys and Crystal, so guys and gals. You'll see them sliding around, fighting hard to control the car. It does have variable banking here at Kansas. It is more or less a twin to Chicagoland. The difference between here and Chicagoland, though, is that Chicagoland is a perfect oval. The backstretch is not actually straight. It does have some curve to it. Here at Kansas, the backstretch is straight, but Kansas also features variable banking, anywhere from 17 degrees of bank on the bottom all the way up to 20 next to the wall. The front stretch is 10 degrees and the back is 5. And so what you're going to see throughout the evening is guys moving to the low line, moving to the high line, depending on the state of their tires, depending on what their strategy is, what they want to do as far as how hard they want to run. Do they want to move forward? Do they want to move back? Do they want to ride? The high line the high line and the low line both have their pros and cons in terms of which corner of the car you save. Do you want to save the right front? Probably go to the bottom. If you want to save the right rear, go to the top. And so we'll be following that one as well. There is an infield road course here, and you can kind of see it a little bit in that blimp shot. It has been used a couple of times. It is 2.3 miles. It has been used a couple of times for IMSA, but not since 2014. So not a lot of road racing happens here, although they do have it available, and it is used by several clubs. If you look over off of turn 2, you will see one of 2 major speedways that features a casino on site. That is a Hollywood casino that has been built in partnership with Hollywood Casinos, of course. In terms of track records here, Tyler Reddick owns the Xfinity Series record, 30.796 seconds. That was set in 2009. That translates to 175.347 miles an hour. The outright track record occurred here in the inaugural IndyCar Series event. Thomas Scheckter, 24.874 seconds, 219.987 miles an hour. And already we've had some cars on the track, and we'll go ahead and bring our ticker in so that everybody can see the current starting lineup. Derek Welch, a lap at 178.140, currently holds the provisional pole. Thomas Welch is second. Anthony Williams third. Brandon Coleman fourth. And Joshua Moore is fifth. And let me go ahead and bring Josh's attempt up here. He goes second quick. See Nicholas Tucker sitting on pit road. His last lap in practice, 153.7, so that was a coming in lap. But you'll see some of these guys every so often. You'll see a guy, kind of sit on the end of pit road. That's to get a little bit of heat in the motor, get a little bit of, maybe get the tires a little bit cooled off. Nothing wrong with that, but it is kind of a speed trick. Watching Matt Sisler here, currently 12th on the board. He'll come by lap 1. Matt Sisler will go fourth fast, 177.919 on the board for Matt Sisler. So fourth quick for the 93. Check back in on Nicholas Tucker. He is not out. Dylan Bryant now on the speedway in the number 8 Pepsi Superman machine. He's coming off of corner number 4. He's going to bring it right down on the apron, and you're going to see that throughout the event tonight. Cars going down all the way to the apron, guys riding the wall. Dylan Bryant puts his Toyota Supra 7th quick, 177.089. And he's still on it, folks. Still got one more. Going to come down through turn 3, get it real tight down to that white line, maybe a foot and a half off. Gets a nice exit and bring it right down to cut the front stretch on the apron. Dylan Bryant, second lap, 178.094. That is going to put him third on the board. 178.095, for Dylan Bryant. Third quick here at Kansas. Nicholas Tucker still on pit road. We'll follow Joseph Bennett in his attempt here. And you're going to see some different strategies. Some guys are going to go out and run as hard as they can in the first lap, and you're going to see some of these drivers kind of take it easy on the first lap. Joseph Bennett, hold on to her, buddy. He saves the race car going through 1 and 2. But his rear tires are going to be extremely angry at him in that Prospec machine. And let's see if he can make a better fist of lap 2 here. Again, right down next to that white line on the apron. He's going to pop back up. That is a difficult transition. There is a bump down there, and so you do want to be careful when you come back up. You also want to be careful in a race that there's not a car there. Bennett, you can see, just a bit higher than some of his comrades there. Bennett now, he's a good half a car length to a car width off that bottom, and you just don't know how much that slide hurt the tires on on Joseph Bennett. But he is going to come out 22nd quick, 6th quick, 177.429 for Joseph Bennett. Alfie Sharon Jr. completed his lap, 14th fast, 176.417. Sean Roberts in the Paul Walker Supra. And this is kind of what I was talking about. Friends. Very slow on the out lap, unless he's done. So Sean Roberts is done. It does have him with a time of 31.435. And so he should be 17th on the board, although our scoring pylon has not yet caught up with recent events. So we've got 15 seconds left in qualifying now. There are several cars that have not taken time. Russell Endicott, Tom Barris, Justin Lawson, Andy Sizemore, Paul Durkee, Crystal Volano, and Benjamin McKinnon. All of those automobiles have not taken time, and so they will be lined up at the end of the field. Their starting grid position will be based on iRating. 30 cars signed into this Prospec NTRL Xfinity Series event. And we'll have a starting lineup here for you just in a couple of moments. On the pole with a speed of 178.140 miles an hour, Derek Welch. Outside of him, Joshua Moore in the number 18, 178.117. That is 4 thousandths of a second, ladies and gentlemen. That is very, very close. Dylan Bryant third, 8 thousandths away from pole, 178.095. Caleb Sisk will start to his outside, one of our points leaders. Matt Sisler, the points leader, will be on the inside of row 3. He's flanked by Chris Gones in the number 41. Joseph Bennett, we watched his qualifying run. He'll roll off 7th. Thomas Welch, 8th. Anthony Williams, 9th. And Brandon Coleman in the 11 is going to start 10th. 11th, Jesse Redding. 12th, Nick Biddy. 13th, Nicholas Tucker. 14th, Alfie Sharon Jr. 15th, Ryan Pasacco. 16th, Paul Ferdiani. 17th, Sean Roberts. 18th, Zeth Hawley, and we've seen him run at the front in these races. Michael Bennett, last week's hard charger, will roll off 19th, looking to duplicate his result from Rockingham, and Chris Schusler rounds out your top 20. 21st, Mike Corvo. 22nd, the 79 of Jared Woodard. The 31 of Scott Milner will go 23rd. Andy Sizemore, 24th. Justin Lawson, 25th. Paul Durkee is 26th. He's in the lucky 13. Crystal Villano, Russell Endicott, Tom Barris, 29th. And the ever-present starting grid bug does not show it, but 30th in shotgun on the field outside of row 15, Benjamin McKinnon. 30 cars signed in for tonight's event. Now there are some penalties in this race, and so one of the things that I saw in the Discord was that Nicholas Tucker will be given a black flag to start the race, and Derek Welch has also pulled his number 1 machine to the side, and so it appears as though Derek Welch is going to go to the rear. That'll just move everybody on the inside up 1 position, and so the virtual pole will be held by Dylan Bryant in the number 8. And then that duo, that trio of cars, Sizzler and Gones, are going to roll 4th, 5th, and 6th. But that's a group along with Alfie Sharon Jr. that we're going to be keeping an eye on. Those guys have run very tight together for most of this season. The pace car is off.
All right, man. Lights are back on the pace car. We're not going green this time. We are not going green.
Lights back on the pace car. You just heard the call from the spotter. We are not going to go green, even though the green flag is being displayed by the flag man. That is not Aaron Likens up there. That is Barney. But the green is in the hands of the starter. The yellow is flashing on the yellow lights are flashing around the speedway, and so we're going to go around one more time here before we get the green as we look out the front of Joshua Moore in his number 18 car. And just to give you a sense of what it feels like to roll around here under caution, it is very, very, very slow. It feels almost as though you're walking, especially if you've been out practicing for quite some period of time, as these guys and gals have. When we get the pace car back out on the speedway, I'm going to lead them back around. Of course, the pace car will peel off here fairly late, right around the exit of turn number 4. We'll get into the restart zone and get going here. Got a shout out for. We have a shout out for Andy Sizemore from his buddy Brandon Ader. So thank you for that, Brandon. And Albert Anderson says, "Let's go Team All Star." And so good luck to those gentlemen as well.
Green, green, green.
There we go. Now we have it. The green flag is out. We are under green here. We are underway in that Kansas 125 the Prospec NTRL Xfinity Series. Good jump out for Dylan Bryant off the bottom. He'll take the lead. He's going to be followed right down the inside Right down the inside by Matt Sizzler. Joshua Moore is going to try to slot in third up on that high line. As everybody heads down the backstretch, the top 6 already with some good separation. And already you get a sense of the different lines around this racetrack. All of these cars can run anywhere on the speedway. It just depends on kind of what you want to do and how you want to manage your tires. We're watching Joshua Moore as a bump draft comes in from the 006 of Caleb Sisk right into the back of Matt Sizzler. That propels him forward. You got 3 on the bottom, 1 on the top. Joshua Moore hanging tough on that outside line. Matt Sizzler takes the purple lap, 176.387, already staking claim to the purple lap, Matt Sizzler, and you'll be able to follow that, fans. If you look on our scoring pylon, you'll be able to follow the fastest lap by whichever position number is in purple. So right now, P3, the 93, Matt Sizzler is the purple lap, 176.387. Sizzler makes his move down to the bottom. Dylan Bryant, he wants that purple marker, 177.073. He's pulled out a 0.3 of a second gap back to Sizzler as he's being hounded by Sisk. Joshua Moore has dropped to 4th. Chris Gones is almost 0.7 of a second behind this battle. Gones, as we watch the number 41 machine, has laid claim to 5th. Good battle for second, though. Sisk on the bottom, Sizzler on the top. Dylan Bryant goes quick again, 177.159. Do want to mention it is a night race, but we are going to throw the weather up there just real quick. 71 degrees is the track temp. It is 69 degrees in the air, which is very seasonably correct for Kansas. Matt Sizzler gets loose off of turn 4, saves the race car down to the bottom of the speedway. Well done for the 93 Matt Sizzler. He's going to give up at least 1 spot to Joshua Moore, and he's going to fall back into the clutches of Chris Gones, but that was nearly disaster for Matt Sizzler. Let's come back and kind of see what we can see here. Just gets it loose coming off the corner. My goodness, what an excellent save. We'll get back to live action, but Matt Sizzler saves the race car, and that could be pivotal later on. You do not want to give up your fast repair, race fans, early in one of these. That is something that can be very strategically used later on. You get to the final pit stop, you might have tapped the wall, you've got a little bit of hidden damage. You can use up that fast repair and get that fixed, but if you use it too early, you got to be really super careful later on in the event. And so Sizzler now is 4th, Gones is 5th, and we'll kind of look at him. And then you have a huge gap back to Nick Biddy, and he's battling with Alfie Sharon Jr. Alfie has made up by my count 7 spots. I believe he started 14th, but he's working to the outside of Nick Biddy. He wants 6th. That's a Toyota on Ford Mustang battle. 78 the Toyota to the top, 32 of Nick Biddy in the Ford on the bottom. And as you can see, it kind of bit Sizzler, but it is very difficult to control that vehicle. It is very difficult to control that car. Caution is out. Caution on the speedway. Kind of see what we can see here. That's Nicholas Tucker. Don't see anything wrong with Nicholas. Don't see anything out there that would have necessarily necessitated a caution. You've got Welch and Tucker 3 laps down, but they had their own issues at the very beginning of the race. Looking at Benjamin McKinnon, he doesn't seem to have anything wrong with him. So we'll go back to the front of the field here. Dylan Bryant, Caleb Sisk, everybody is on pit road. We'll cover the stop for Dylan Bryant in the number 8. You're able to tell if they take tires just based on whether or not the car goes up on the jacks. Now, as we all know, very limited resources here on tires, and so interested to see if anybody burns up a set at this point, and it doesn't look like anybody will. They're going to just get fuel only. Smart call, smart play, especially given the short amount of fuel. This should give them enough to make it home in just 2 tire stops. As we race off a pit road. Also, Durkee, Coleman, and Justin Lawson did not stop. So Dylan Bryant is going to be 4th, Caleb Sisk 5th, Joshua Moore 6th, Matt Sizzler 7th, Chris Goins 8th, Alfie Sharon Jr. 9th, and Nick Biddy 10th. That S4 guy, make good choices, TBM. Richard Mills, thanks for the shout out, 00 Joe Nation, and I'm not going to repeat that on the air, Brandon. So anyway, under caution here, lap 11 of 125 is what we're working, and now we're going to see the rest of them. Durkee, Coleman, and Lawson are going to come down to pit lane. That's going to hand the lead back to Dylan Bryant. While we have under caution here, we would like to thank our sponsors. Accelerate your success with Track Bar Media, tailored for small business owners. We craft dynamic social media content, custom iRacing videos, and unique merch with no minimums. Maximize your reach with our national billboard placement and meet our elite Track Bar Motorsports esports team. Track Bar Media, affordable, impactful, and fast. Race on over to www.trackbarmedia.net now to learn more. Beadle's Custom Car Carriers creates 1/64th scale model car carriers, and we also make all of their own kits in-house. They can make trucks to your specs. You can check them out at Beadle's Custom Car Carriers on Facebook and at Beadle's on Instagram. Davidson Builders, LLC in Cape May County, New Jersey, is a beacon of excellence in Cape May County and stands as a testament to family values and military dedication. As a veteran-owned and operated general contractor and remodeler with over 25 years of unmatched experience, we marry quality with affordability. From tailored customizations to expert craftsmanship, we paint dreams into reality across residential and commercial landscapes. Check them out. That's www.davidson-builders.com. And then finally, hey there, Numb Thumbs racing fans. Are you looking to upgrade your ride? Whether it's your truck, car, Jeep, boat, UTV, or ATV, Prospec has you covered. Locally owned and operated in Jacksonville, Florida, and Duval County, Prospec specializes in high-quality accessories and installations that take your vehicle to the next level. From custom lighting like underglow and rock lights to top-of-the-line sound systems and backup cameras, we've got everything you need to make your ride truly yours. At Prospec, we bring your vision to life with precision and care. Visit us today and see why we're Jacksonville's go-to source for all things automotive and beyond. Prospec, where quality meets customization. And that'll take you through our sponsors here. Lap 13 of 125 is in the books. Dylan Bryant, your leader under caution. He's going to be flanked on the restart by Caleb Sisk. You've got Joshua Moore and Matt Sizzler in row 2, Chris Goins and Alfie Sharon in row 3, Biddy and Redding 7th and 8th. Joseph Bennett and Anthony Williams are going to round out your top 10. And there's your field coming through the Geico restart zone. Green flag is once again in the air. Racing resumes. 13 of 125 are now complete. 14 laps go on the board. Dylan Bryant jumps out to the lead, and you've got a heck of a battle for second. That's Caleb Sisk and Joshua Moore. Sisk has the outside this time. Moore to the bottom. He's going to go. He's going to go to the bottom and see if he can't wrestle. See if he can't wrestle second away from Sisk. But Sisk has better ideas. He's going to go for the lead, and he's got Gones and Sizzler all over the rear of that 18 machine for third. To go back in the field just a little bit, a car that dropped to the rear at the beginning of this race, so wound up starting in the back, Derek Welch, and you're looking at his number 1 NTG trucking machine. Derek Welch has made up 15 spots to start this race. He's looking for another. That's Anthony. That is the 5 of Anthony Williams. Welch is he's trying to get by him. Anthony Williams hanging tough on the bottom, but if he can make that pass stick, he will have passed 17 cars. Now, he does not make it stick, and so Derek Welch is going to fall back into the clutches of Paul Ferdiani and Sean Roberts there. But a heck of a run through the field from Derek Welch. We'll get back to the battle up front. That is Chris Gones now having moved to second. He's around Joshua Moore. Matt Sizzler is going to be looking for some of that same magic. Let's see if he can get around the 18, and he's going to be followed by the virtual pole sitter since Welch went to the back. That's Dylan Bryant in fifth. Now, worth mentioning the 32 of Nick Biddy. He was 2.5 to 3 seconds down on these leaders when that caution came out. He is hanging very tough with Dylan Bryant, who, as you can see by the purple indicator on the scoring pylon there, and just in front of him, owns the fastest lap, and he is about to have a battle on his hands. That's Alfie Sharon Jr. Looking for 6th place on Nick Biddy, and we're going to see if we can't get into the gyro cam and get on board with Alfie Sharon Jr. Loves showing these views, love looking at the cars and all the different varied lines. We're going to let you listen a little bit. To Alfie, Matt Sizzler goes for another near wild excursion. He does save it, but let's get over here and take a look at Matt Sizzler. Here he is, fans. He's going through turns 1 and 2. And just as we've seen now, this is the second time for him. But we also saw it happen to another car where you come off a 2, the car just gets really super light and it wants to spin out. What an excellent job saving the race car for a second time for Matt Sizzler. You got to wonder how many lives he's used up and how much rear tire he's used. But he's already back by the 21 of Jesse Redding. He's going to work on Sharon. He's going to work on Alfie Sharon now to see if he can't get back into 6th. And that's the storyline. Alfie Sharon Jr. started 14th. He has moved up to 6th. Matt Sizzler is 7th, and that's your points leader. Caleb Sisk leads the race, and Chris Gones is 2nd. So those are the 4 guys that are locked in a very tight duel for the championship lead, and we're going to follow them all night. We've got a caution. We've got caution on the speedway, and there is the number 13 of Paul Durkee, and that car is very used up. So let's get back in the Wayback Machine and see what befell Paul Durkee. He's racing there with the 61 of Chris Schusler, and he's got the 31 of Scott Milner in close attendance. And just kind of a coming together. Ooh, the 6 upside down. That's a wild ride. The 61 upside down That's a wild ride for Chris Schuessler and a hard lick for Paul Durkee. We'll get we'll let the fans see what it's like to be upside down in one of these things. So real time. Just come together off the corner, comes around, and it didn't get fully upside down, and it didn't really hit anything other than the roof. So he may not have two extremely extensive repairs on that 61. We are going to have, as we've talked about, we're going to have some varied strategies here. Benjamin McKinnon did not pit, so the number 12 machine, and let's give Benjamin his due, the number 12 Meyer Hellman's machine will take the lead here, and he's going to be leading Caleb Siss, Dylan Bryant, Chris Gones, and Joshua Moore. Time on pit road does not tell me that any of these cars took tires, other than perhaps Andy Sizemore. Now, Andy Sizemore is back in 20th, but he was 14.4 on pit road, so that tells me that Andy may have tells me that the driver of that 27 machine may have elected to take himself some tires. And now here comes McKinnon. He's going to come to pit road, and so TV time duly acquired. Brandon McKinnon is going to bring it to pit lane, and that will hand the lead, or should hand the lead, back over to Caleb Siss. Now there are two cars in front of him. One is the 97 of Mike Corvo, and then I believe that's the 88 of Nicholas Tucker, and then the 9 of Thomas Welch. So those are the two cars that are immediately in front of Caleb Sisk, who is leading the event. Those two machines are going to get waved around, or they should, which would put them back one lap down. Tucker and Welch have been as many as 3 laps down in the event. That 4S guy, say hi to Dale for me. Hi, Dale. But those guys should get waved around and go back to 1 lap down. And then along with Paul Durkee, those are the 3 cars 1 lap down. So another caution, and they would be in position, should they get that wave around, to get back on the lead lap. And there they go by the pace car. So Caleb Sisk will once again assume the points. He'll have Dylan Bryant to his outside. Joshua Moore in the 18 will be 3rd. Chris Gones will line up 4th. Nick Biddy 5th. Alfie Sharon Jr. 6th. Matt Sizzler 7th. Jesse Redding 8th. Joseph Bennett 9th. And Michael Bennett 10th. Those are your top 10. Anthony Williams 11th. Sean Roberts 12th. Derek Welch 13th. So he has moved up 17 spots. You've got Tom Barish, then Paul Ferdiani, Scott Milner, Jarrett Woodard, and back to P18, that's Andy Sizemore. I believe Andy Sizemore has tires on that 27, so let's watch him closely. Brandon Coleman, Russell Endicott, Chris Schuessler, Benjamin McKinnon, Zeth Hawley, Mike Corvo, Ryan Pisacco, Paul Durkee, Pisacco all on the lap. Durkee, Thomas Welch, and Nicholas Tucker are 1 lap down. The pace car is off, and here they come into the Geico restart zone.
Green flag, green flag.
And racing once again resumes from Kansas Speedway. 26 of 125 complete. Caleb Sisk, your leader, from Chris Gones and Dylan Bryant. Bryant does have the purple lap, and I'm going to put the focus on the 27. That's Andy Sizemore. We do believe he's got fresh Goodyears on that 27 machine, and so let's see how quickly Andy Sizemore is able to work his way up through this field. if he's able to work his way up through this field, and if he does has fresh tires, how far can that propel him? And it appeared as though the 55, and that's going to be our good friend Tom Barish. Did appear he kind of pancaked the wall there, but just watching the 27. Let's get on board with Andy Sizemore. And you can audibly hear how little he's lifting and how much he's able to gain coming off the corners. He is going to drive by Sean Roberts in the 33 Toyota Supra like it's tied to a post. And now he's going to come up on Derek Welch. And Welch has passed more cars in this race than anybody else. And I don't believe I'd be making a bad bet to say he's probably going to be the one getting past here in just a second. It's just a matter of Sizemore being able to find the right line. He goes around Anthony Williams in the 12th. And back to Andy Sizemore, climbs it to the high side. Going to get a really good run on Welch coming down the back straight. Now, it's very difficult to do this because, one, you've got two divergent goals here. If you're Sizemore, you want to use the tires to your advantage. You want to get while the getting's good and get as far forward as quickly as possible. But you don't want to do anything to hurt those tires. He's already used up one set. He's only got two in the pit lane, remember, so one more set of tires is going to have to last him another 95 laps. He's going to be double stinting these. And so he's going to want to get the most out of him he can. He's been out now for 7 laps. The good usually lasts about 10, so he needs to get up to the lead, and he needs to get gone here if he's going to make this a viable strategy. But good work on Andy Sizemore. He's already passed 8 cars. Battle right in front of him. That's Alfie Sharon Jr. and Jesse Redding. They're going hammer and tong at it for 8th and 9th. And then a little bit further up the road, we've got Nick Biddy and Matt Sisler racing hard for 5th and 6th. And that's Biddy that's going to get around Sisler. Those two looking to chase turn 1, and we'll watch the field come through turn 1. Beautiful speed shot provided by Whiplash Simcams. Love to thank them here at P1 for all of their support as we watch the Prospec NTRL Xfinity Series hurdle through turn number 1. Back to the best battle on the speedway. That's Biddy and Sisler. Matt Sisler all over the rear of that 32 Ford Mustang, Gig Marine on the side of the car for Nick Biddy. Beautiful looking white, silver and blue number 32 Ford Mustang, followed by the teal Toyota Supra. Birdies on the side of the race car for Matt Sisler. So good looking cars in this series, I have to say. Very well done. Would like to thank everybody out there for watching the broadcast. I know these races, especially when it's just one person, can get kind of tedious, so definitely appreciate your hanging in there with me. Andy's doing pretty good. I know he's got his fans in the in chat. He's up to 7th now on those new tires, and he has caught this battle for 6th, 5th and 6th between Sisler and Biddy. If he can get 5th and 6th, if he can get around this duo, he's only going to be about a second and a half away from the lead, and he just might get there. The tires are going to have to be starting to get kind of sketchy for some of these other fellows, and so he's going to put it 3 wide to the top. Careful. Slide job from Biddy. Sisler down to the apron, and that's going to open up the middle for Sizemore. He's not going to take it. I thought for a second there he was going to drive that car right up the middle, but the 27 is on the march. He restarted 18th. He is now 7th, and he is catching the fastest cars in the field, and we're watching Biddy go by Joshua Moore. Sizemore says he wants some of that too, although he's going to get it loose coming off of turn number 4. Hang on to it. Sizemore hangs on to the race car. He will lose that spot, though, to Joshua Moore. It looked like he was going to drive by him. So put Sizemore to 7th, Moore to 6th, Sizzler 5th, Nick Biddy 4th. The top 3, Caleb Sisk, your leader, Chris Gones 2nd, Dylan Bryant 3rd. They are all within 1.2 seconds of each other, and they are all 0.4 of a second apart. This is by far the best battle on the speedway between Sizemore, Biddy, Sizzler, and now Josh Moore. Joseph Bennett and Jesse Redding are looking to inch their way into this fracas. And just watch him just arc in there. He's able to get so much bite in the middle of the corner, just drive off straight. He picks up 2 or 3 car lengths going down the back, eases into the corner, trying not to hurt those new tires. He knows they have to stand him in good stead for the rest of the event, and then turns it sideways, coming off of turn number 4, straight to the bottom. One more time for Andy Sizemore, but this is the battle, folks. A little bit further back in the field, Paul Ferdiani, he is 15th. He's looking at Michael Bennett for 14th. He has caught Bennett from just a little bit ways back. Now, this is 5.5 seconds behind the lead, 5.54 to be exact.
All right, man, caution is out. Caution is out.
And we have a caution on the speedway that is Andy Sizemore involved. And let's have a look and see what's happened to the 27. You've got Sizzler on the bottom. You've got Nick Biddy in the middle, and there is Andy to the top. They're going to be 3 wide. Looked like you had several different things there happen. Biddy might have gotten a little bit loose. Sizemore might have brushed the wall a little bit. Those two will tangle, and into the safer barrier they go. I don't see any contact other than just the side to side there for Matt Sizzler. So he will likely escape here. As we're under caution, working lap 41 of lap 125. Now, we're in that window for the leaders. They have not taken tires. They've stopped twice for fuel, but they have not taken tires. And so, let's see. They're all going to come down pit road here, led by Caleb Sisk, Chris Gones, Dylan Bryant, Matt Sizzler, and Joshua Moore. That slow 45-mile-an-hour drive down pit road. No speedometer in these cars. Have to do it with attack. And still not seeing any tires on the front runners. So one more time, no tires on any of the leaders. The first car that appears to have gotten tires, I believe, is the 00, that is Joseph Bennett. Joshua Moore also took tires. So Josh Moore in the 18, one of our early front runners. Joseph Bennett, Paul Ferdiani, Anthony Williams, and Paul Durkee all appear to have taken tires, as have Ryan Pasacco, Chris Schusler. Nick Biddy is still on pit road. He is under repair. Thomas Welch is on the speedway, and Welch now was in position to get his lap back, but he will not take the wave around this time. Neither will the 31. of Scott Milner. He had gone to the front just to lead a lap, and so we're going to see all of those gentlemen. We're going to see those two guys come down pit road. Welch goes back to 1 lap down. Nicholas Tucker now 2 laps down. Biddy is back on the speedway, and so he's completed his required repair. Let's see if he comes back here. Take some more optional. Or if that's going to be it for now on the 32, maybe banking on some additional cautions. Now the disadvantage for the 9, of course, is it doesn't matter where he comes out on pit road. If he's a lap down, he's going to have to go all the way to the back on any given pit stop, and so we'll see. And let's see if the lights go out on the pace car, to be completely fair. Nicholas Tucker going to try to get one of his laps back. With the wave. We are across the line. There's the wave around, so we are going to get green this time. Nick Biddy is not going to come back to pit lane. We line them up in our rows of 2. Caleb Sisk going to have the lead. Chris Gones is going to beat his outside. The 2 of the 4 championship leaders, Dylan Bryant 3rd, Jesse Redding 4th. They make up row 2. How about Derek Welch? He has climbed all the way from the rear of this field in that number 1 to 5th. He'll be flanked by points leader Matt Sizzler in 6th. And then you've got Alfie Sharon Jr., who is also in that 4-way battle on points to the inside in 7th. And he's got the Toyota Supra, the Fast and the Furious machine of Paul Walker, represented by Sean Roberts in 8th. All right. So there's the restart zone. Hold them down, boys.
Green flag.
Front row goes. And racing resumes here at Kansas. 45 of 125 down. Caleb Sisk is your leader. He leads it away from Dylan Bryant in 2nd. Chris Gones is 3rd. Jesse Redding 4th. Derek Welch is 5th. First car on tires, Joshua Moore. And so let's keep an eye on that 18 and just watch how much quicker that 18 is. He just drives right around the bottom of 4 cars there, passing machines in wholesale fashion. He's going to take the inside 3 wide, Welch in the middle, Sizzler the outside, and Moore has to check up to avoid getting into the back of 4th place Jesse Redding. He'll have that spot going to 3rd. Joshua Moore on board. He'll swing it high. That is Chris Gones to his left, and so much quicker on that new pair of boots. Going down the back straight is Joshua Moore. He'll be 3rd. Looking at Dylan Bryant now. And there's the race for the lead, folks. Joshua Moore to the outside of the 006. Caleb Sisk and Moore is going to have the lead. Watch out for the wall, though. He's going to have the lead coming out of 2 onto the backstretch. Caleb Sisk is going to lead it. Joshua Moore is going to lead it from Caleb Sisk. Dylan Bryant 3rd, Chris Gones 4th. Alfie Sharon has moved it to 5th. Matt Sizzler now runs 7th. He's lost a couple of positions in that exchange. And Derek Welch has gone from 5th to 9th. One of the other cars that took tires some of the other cars that took tires on that stop. Joseph Bennett, give a call down to the 00. Joseph Bennett didn't have the greatest of starting spots today. He has worked his way back up to 5th in the running order. He's also on new tires, but he's going to drive just right to the bottom of the number 8 of Dylan Bryant. He'll have Gones coming down the front straight and then set his sights on Caleb Sisk, who now runs 2nd. The differential in lap times, by the way, the new tires to the old, about 0.3 of a second. 31.863 for Moore that time. 32.123 for Caleb Sisk. Meanwhile, Paul Ferdiani, also on 4 tires, and he's trying to pick his way up there too. Good looking, number 44, red, white, and blue Chevrolet Camaro. He's going to go to the inside of Alfie Sharon and take a look at Matt Sisler as well. So good run for Paul Ferdiani. Looking at 6th, and he'll complete the pass going through turn number 3. Now again, if you're on these new tires, and new tires leads it, Joseph Bennett has made it now around Caleb Sisk, so he'll run 2nd. If you're on these new tires now, you want this thing to stay green. You want one more pit stop for gas, and that's it. If you're on old tires, you want another caution here in fairly short order, because then you'll have the advantage. These other guys will be forced to make a choice: stay out on old tires or come in and get new ones. But if this thing stays green, those guys that took those tires now may be in the catbird seat. Moore and Bennett now working 11 laps on the new ones. Sisk, Gones, Bryant, those cars have not changed their tires, nor has, I believe, Matt Sisler. Sisler may have gotten 2 on his stop, but P3, 4, and 5 have not taken tires. Neither do I believe has Derek Welch or Alfie Sharon, Junior, Zeth Hawley, Jesse Redding. None of those guys changed them on their last stop. And so we're coming down as we kind of thought it would be, a tire battle. Who can save them? Not just on the racetrack, not just on the race car, but who can save them in the pit lane and take those tires when the time is right. In terms of the championship, Caleb Sisk is 3rd, Chris Gones is 4th, Matt Sisler 7th, and Alfie Sharon Jr. 9th. So they're all more or less still in the top 10. Fast repairs have not really been in evidence. Michael Bennett in the number 64, and we'll go ahead and show Michael. He currently runs 14th. But Michael Bennett has taken his fast repair, as has the number 13 of Paul Durkee. Of course, that machine was beaten up pretty badly in an early accident. So Paul Durkee also using his fast repair, but not any of the front runners to this point. Ryan Pasacco, the first car to have used his in the number 2 wheel-in entry. Ryan Pasacco, he's 10th. He is also on freshies, but Michael Bennett has used his as well. So again, something to keep an eye on if there's a late incident. Who's got that fast repair and who doesn't? And we'll just kind of watch. Ryan Pasacco here. He's made up about 10 spots since that last caution period. Good looking drive for the number 2, of course. New tires against old on the 78 of Alfie Sharon. You've got the number 5 of Anthony Williams, who I also believe to be on fresh tires. Anthony Williams going to follow him through to 10th. And we've got a caution. Caution is out on the speedway. That is a huge break for Nick Biddy. We've got the number 24 of Zeth Hawley involved, and so let's see what we can see here. Going down the front straight, just kind of incidental contact. Into the wall goes Redding, And then you're going to see Michael Bennett just come through, and nothing that Michael Bennett could really do there. Just kind of a victim of circumstance. Let's rewind that, and we'll show you what Michael Bennett sees. This is real time, folks. You see the two cars get together, maybe a little bit of net code. There's just nowhere to go. Straight in the side is Seth Hawley. So a tough break for Michael Bennett. And he is one of those cars, we just call it out. He's already used his fast repair, and so Michael Bennett might be in the pits for significant repair or worse. So he didn't blow the engine up in the 64. But that's going to put everybody back on the pit road. I would expect that the cars that got tires last time are going to go gas only, and the cars that didn't get tires, now that we're within 65 laps of the end of this race, might be looking at taking their first set. You can see no tires going on the 18, and the 8 of Dylan Bryant did go up on the jacks, and so Joshua Moore will leave the pit lane. He's flanked by Joseph Bennett. Those two are 1-2 off a pit lane. Mike Corvo in the 97, Scott Milner in the 31, and Benjamin McKinnon in the 12 did not pit. And this is going to put, I believe, Nicholas Tucker, should he choose to stay out, back on that lead lap or close enough to it. Michael Bennett has already lost a lap. Jesse Redding is 2 laps down, and Andy Sizemore has called it quits on the day. He is retired from the event in 29th and last place. I don't believe Crystal Volano took the start, and so she'll be classified 30th. Now you see the cars that were in front of the pace car pulling down pit road, and so Nicholas Tucker not going to take advantage of the wave and get one more lap back. Scott Milner stays out 17 laps on his current run. That is a tribute to Valvoline cars, I believe. Maybe Mark Martin. That's gold, red, orange, chrome, light blue, and blue on the Valvoline side. I see a Cummins sticker as well as a Viagra sticker, and so that would lead me to believe that's more of a Mark Martin thing. So we're under caution, lap 60 of 120 of a scheduled 125 here at Kansas Speedway. It is nighttime, and so as we like to do here at P1, keep our fans as informed as possible. The air temp still 69 degrees. It has increased by 1 degree on the track, so 72, but still ideal conditions for these drivers here in the Prospec NTRL Xfinity Series. And it appears as though Scott Milner is going to stay out. And so Milner will stay out. He will assume the lead of this event. He'll have Joshua Moore to his outside. Now Moore, 2 laps into his current run, Moore, Bennett, Ferdiani, Williams, and Sean Roberts did not take tires. Caleb Sisk did. He is the first car on Freshies. He's 7th. Ryan Pasacco 8th. Gas only. Chris Gones, Matt Sizzler took them. They are P9 and 10. Chris Schusler, gas only in 11th. Dylan Bryant, Derek Welch, Justin Lawson, and Alfie Sharon Jr. round out your top 15. They all did take tires. Paul Durkee in 16th, gas only. And then Brandon Coleman, Russell Endicott, Nick Biddy through P19 did take tires. Benjamin McKinnon did not. He is 20th. Seth Hawley, Jarrett Woodard, Tom Barish, Thomas Welch, and Mike Corvo round out your top 25. They are all on the lead lap. Nicholas Tucker, 2 laps down. Jesse Redding, Michael Bennett, 3 laps down. Andy Sizemore is retired from the event. As we get ready to head for the restart as we get ready to head for the Geico restart zone.
Green flag, green
Scott
flag.
Milner hits the accelerator, and he is going to accelerate away from Joshua Moore, and he has Joseph Bennett in close attendance to the rear of that number 31. Already, Joshua Moore has gotten past Scott Milner, as has Bennett, as has Ferdiani. He'll move into third. Now Sisk is going to go around. Also the number 5, passing the 31 in wholesale fashion. Here comes Chris Gones and Matt Sisler, Sean Roberts, et al. And it looks like Milner's just gonna pull it down and let the field go. Probably a smart move with these many guys that have tires here. He's all the way down in the apron. Be careful, careful, careful. Everybody saves it. Everybody can do it. But let's get back to the battle for the lead, because Joshua Moore is now going to be faced with a freshly shot Caleb Sisk in second. Sisk has made the pass on Joseph Bennett, so put Sisk to second. Gones is making his way around Paul Ferdiani for fifth. As we head off into turn 1. Caleb Sisk a half a second a lap quicker than Joshua Moore, and that's right down to the new tires that are sitting on the 006. But he is going to drive right around the outside of Joshua Moore. Josh trying to put up as much of a fight as he can, but no use. Caleb Sisk thunders into the lead here at Kansas. And let's take a look back at the progress of Jones, Sisler, and Dylan Bryant, because they're all on fresh tires. They were some of the early leaders, and here they come back by the guys that took freshies early. Put Gones into third, Sisler fourth, Dylan Bryant fifth. And then we're also going to go back and have a look at Alfie Sharon. So the championship 4, Sisk leads it, Gones third, Sisler fourth, Sharon sixth. Who could have predicted that? All 4 of them right together at the front of this field. And remember, those 4 in this championship fight Sisler, Gones, and Sharon are separated by 4 points. Sisk, I do not believe, has run the full schedule, but he has been fast in all of the races that we've called. But those 3 cars of Sisler, Gones, and Sharon, they're separated in the points by a total of 4 markers. So definitely not a surprise to see them up at the front of the field, and not a surprise to see the fast hot rod of Caleb Sisk up there either. We continue to watch this battle. It's going to be Matt Sisler looking to the inside of Dylan Bryant, of Joshua Moore. That's going to put Sisler third. Bryant is going to try to follow him through. He does not go down to the apron, does Bryant. Going to try to keep the momentum up, get himself a little bit of a better angle into turn 1. Moore washes up the track, and so make Dylan Bryant fourth. Joshua Moore continues now on. He'll run fifth, and we've got Paul Ferdiani. Had another one of those slides coming out of turn number 2. Don't know if he had any help, but nonetheless, an amazing save from Paul Ferdiani. We'll give it one more look from the P1 broadcasting helicopter. That's awful close, but Paul Ferdiani nonetheless saves the automobile, and he will get back into the race here. Paul Ferdiani now scored 16th on the day. The race up front, though, continues to be fast and furious between Sisler, Bryant, and Moore. Those cars third, fourth, and fifth as they run. Although Bryant has opened up a bit of a gap, as you can see over Joshua Moore, Alfie Sharon, and Derek Welch. There is a gap developing there. It's about a second. Caleb Sisk also has a second over Chris Gones, so this is the best battle on the speedway. Let's take a look back in the field, though. There is a snarling mess of cars back here. You've got, that is Nick Biddy attempting to go by Joseph Bennett. That would be for 9th place, of course. Biddy, careful. And for the second time today, Nick Biddy is around and in the wall. He had charged, he had fixed the automobile under the last caution. He had charged all the way back up. He did use his fast repair, and now the 32 is damaged one more time. And let's see if we can't have a better look at this now. This all develops. Well before we saw any action. So you're going to see the 32 come off of turn number 4 here. He's going to have an amazingly good run on the number 10. And so here comes Biddy off of 4. He's going to get down alongside the 00 maybe. And there's it appears as though there's some net code involved there that kind of got him down on the apron. Nick Biddy does an amazing job of, once again, saving that car, but unfortunately comes back up the track, makes contact with the 88, and that sends Nicholas Tucker. That's going to send Nicholas Tucker into the outside retaining wall. Also, we had another car involved there. It's got the 11 on it, but that was the 11 of Brandon Coleman. And so Coleman, who's 4th on the road, also involved in that fracas. Tough break for both those guys. Didn't do anything wrong, just a victim of circumstance. And so we get back to live action here. Justin Lawson is your leader. Anthony Williams 2nd, Zeth Hawley 3rd, Brandon Coleman 4th in the aforementioned 11 car. Now, many of these guys did not pit under that first caution. That is Nicholas Tucker in the lapped 88 machine headed for pit road. Jarrett Woodard 5th, Thomas Welch 6th, Chris Schusler 7th, Tom Barish 8th, Mike Corvo 9th. Russell Endicott is 10th. Those cars have been out on the speedway for anywhere between 13 to 15 laps, and so they did not stop under this caution. Caleb Sisk, who was leading the event, he is 11th. Chris Goins 12th. Matt Sisler 13th. Dylan Bryant 14th. Alfie Sharon Jr. 15th. 16th is Joshua Moore in the 18. Derek Welch 17th. Joseph Bennett 18th. Ryan Pasacco 19th. And Paul Durkee 20th. The second set of 10 cars that I read off, 11th through 20th, they stopped under that last caution, but got gas only, so they're saving their final set. Sean Roberts in the 33 Fast and the Furious Supra. Scott Milner 22nd. Those two did take tires. Paul Ferdiani in 23rd did not. Benjamin McKinnon P24 does have freshies. Nicholas Tucker just gas only. He is 2 laps down, as is Jesse Redding and Nick Biddy. Out of the event, the 64 of Michael Bennett 28th, and shotgun on the field, Andy Sizemore 29th. Crystal Volano did not take the start and will be credited with 30th. So just to set the scene here, the top 10 machines, the first 5 rows here, do not have tires, and then from P11 on back, they have stopped for fuel, but none of them have new tires either. Only Sean Roberts and Scott Milner, to the best of my knowledge, Benjamin McKinnon, have changed the shoes on their respective machines. And so the advantage here, if you can call it that, is going to be on how long can you go if it stays green. The theory, and we haven't tested it yet, is that the fuel window is anywhere between 30 and 40 laps. Well, if that's the case, Justin Lawson, Williams, Hawley, Coleman, and others, as we get ready to go back to green, those cars are going to have to pit sooner under green. They're going to have a longer run to the end, worse tires at the end, but they're also going to have to make a longer stop.
Green, green, green.
Green flag is out. Racing resumes. Justin Lawson is going to lead them away from Zeth Hawley, Anthony Williams, Brandon Coleman, and Jarrett Woodard as they head down into turn number 176 of 125 complete here at Kansas. Such an awesome camera shot, that going down the back, the speed shots with the long view of the grandstands on the other side of the on the other side of the facility. You've got the 24, that's Zeth Hawley, and he was our race winner, if I'm not mistaken, not too many weeks ago in the 24 DuPont Chevrolet. Good looking Jeff Gordon tribute machine riding around here, but Zeth Hawley definitely has the speed, as does Jarrett Woodard. These are cars that are more than capable of racing at the front. They have used their own strategy to do so, and they are up here on their own merits. Caleb Sisk, by the way, in case you're wondering where that snarl of where that snarl of action is, it is right around P6, 7, 8. You're looking at Sisk there in the 006. He restarted 10th. He is now 7th. He's got Sizzler and Bryant in close attendance. Chris Gones is 11th. Joshua Moore in the 18. He has been up and down all day. He is back to 17th. The man on the mission right now, though, Mike Corriveau. Mike Corriveau started this run in the back. He last took tires 19 laps ago, given a very fine account of himself, light fuel and maybe a little bit of a newer pair of shoes on that car. But Mike Corriveau did take tires on his last stop 19 laps ago, and so he's giving, like I said, a very good account of himself up in 10th. But the thing that's most amazing to me, Caleb Sisk, who you would have thought, even with a bit of a tire deficit, would be able to run down these leaders as he works to the outside of the number 9 machine of Thomas Welch. And what a story Thomas Welch has been. At one point, he was 2 laps down in this race. Look up, and there's Thomas Welch running 5th. But Sisk has not marched to the front as one thought he might. Justin Lawson is fractionally slower, 31.608 to a 31.598 that last time by, but it's only 100th of a second. And the longer this goes, the longer that Lawson, Hawley, and Woodard can stay in front of Caleb Sisk, the better it's going to be for them. As the tires begin to wear out on the 006, Sisk is going to get past Jarrett Woodard there, so put Sisk from 4th to 3rd. Wiggly, but maybe. So make Sisk 3rd instead of 4th, and drop Jarrett Woodard back in the what I call the Dan Gurney Tribute Toyota. Do love those colors. If you like, go check out a late 1980s IMSA Dan Gurney Eagle. Beautiful, beautiful prototypes those cars were, but painted in those colors. And going to follow Sisk through is Matt Sizzler. So the point leader has moved himself into the 5th position. So kudos to Matt Sizzler. Watching Sizzler now, he's working to the inside of Jarrett Woodard. This is the best battle on the speedway, so far as we can tell. for these positions here. This is Sizzler 4th, Woodard 5th. Dylan Bryant has moved around Thomas Welch, so moved Bryant 6th and put Thomas Welch down to 7th. Chris Gones has not really made any sort of a charge, and Woodard going to look back to the inside as Sizzler headed off for turn 3. Sizzler now looks to the outside, staying outside. Woodard not quite able to make it stick on the bottom. It does tend to get loose down there. We've seen that throughout the day. Coldfire says, let's go EV Racing. Let's go indeed. So good to have you on the broadcast, Coldfire. Definitely appreciate the support out there. I did want to thank everybody who's watched with us thus far and continues to watch with us. If you haven't done so, please hit the like button, smash that subscribe, do this channel a solid, get notified for all future upcoming NTRL and other P1 broadcasting events. Great to have this series on board on the channel, giving me my chance to broadcast. And I definitely appreciate Derek and the entire NTRL team for everything that they've done for me. It is 86 laps down of 125. Justin Lawson leads it from Zeth Hawley. Caleb Sisk has now moved into 3rd, and he is officially coming. He has caught Zeth Hawley for 3rd. He was 0.3 of a second quicker than both of the leaders that last time by, and if he can keep the tires underneath that 006 car, I think he should be able to get past these cars in pretty short order. Of course, 28 laps into the current stint for Lawson and Hawley, so those two may be looking at pit stops here, not too much longer. Zeth Hawley goes to the lead in the number 20. He gets past Justin Lawson under pressure from Sisk. So Hawley has decided it's time to go. Sisk is going to go into the 20. He'll claim second spot. And now it's between Hawley and Sisk up at the front. Put Justin Lawson 3rd. Matt Sizzler is 4th. Dylan Bryant is 5th. Chris Gones has moved into 6th. Jarrett Woodard 7th. Thomas Welch is 8th. Sean Roberts 9th. He is on new tires, by the way. Alfie Sharon Jr. rounds out your top 10. Guy we haven't talked about much today, Mike Corvo, in the number 97. He is going to be in the 11th spot, and we'll just kind of go through the field here. There's Mike in the 97. Anthony Williams in the number 5. He runs 12th in his Mustang. Tom Barish, NTG on the side of that Camaro is 13th. Brandon Coleman, High Rock Vodka. Beautiful looking teal, white, and otherwise blue car. Reminds me of the Dan Marino cars back in the day, the Dan Marino Bill Elliott racing cars. He is 11th. Joshua Moore has been at the front. He's been at the back, and he's been everywhere in between. Currently, he is right smack in the middle, 15th in the number 18 Camaro. Paul Ferdiani, once again loose off of turn number 4. He's done that move a couple of times today, and he's still loose on the apron. He's 16th. Chris Schusler in the 61 at one point today was upside down. Chris Schusler 17th. Joseph Bennett in the 00. It wasn't too many laps ago that he had the Prospec Toyota it wasn't too many laps ago that he had the Prospec Custom Accessories Toyota up in second place among the leaders. Tire strategy and a couple of pit cycles have dropped him to 18th. Ryan Pisacco in the Deuce. We talked about him tonight, moving through the field during various cycles. He is 19th. Russell Endicott. Have not mentioned his name at all, but Russell, good run for the 57. He rounds out your top 20. Scott Milner is 21st. Benjamin McKinnon in that Meyer Hellman's Mayonnaise machine is 22nd. Paul Durkee in the 13th, and I do so very much like that car. The Rhinestone Cowboy machine is 23rd. Jesse Redding, 24th in the number 21 Ford Mustang. 25th, Nicholas Tucker, and both Redding and Tucker 2 laps down. Those two, well, Nicholas Tucker in particular, he has been 2 laps down most of this event. At one point, it looked like he might get the RTIC machine back to 1 lap down or 1 lap down, or even on the lead lap. It just never has happened. Derek Welch, 3 laps down in the number 1 Toyota Supra. He did stop. And so green flag pit stops are underway, but Derek Welch 6 laps out on his current run, 3 laps in arrears, but he is the fastest machine on the racetrack. Last time by 32.108 compared to 32.665 for the leader. So an attempted short pit for Derek Welch, and then Nick Biddy on pit lane. He is rounding out your 27 runners. Michael Bennett, Andy Sizemore, 28th and 29th out of the race. Crystal Volano did not take the start. She will be credited with 30th. We watch Caleb Sisk now continue to circulate. Zeth Hawley second, Matt Sisler third. The cars that have not stopped, I would be anticipating. Anthony Williams has also been on pit lane now. I would anticipate they're going to be in just about any lap. Those guys have to be, if they're not bingo on fuel, they've got to be getting close. And certainly the tires have to be about shot as well. Zeth Hawley blinks a little bit. And you got to be careful too getting to pit lane. You got to make sure you signal. We can do that in iRacing in 2 different ways. You can of course key the mic and just announce, hey, I'm coming to pit lane. You can also trigger a text message to your competitors, and so guys do get creative with that. Probably my favorite of the text notifications for guys coming to pit lane. Private label Team Hype, or Hyper Slide as it were now. Driver Joshua Chin, instead of I'm coming to pit lane, his says I'm having a pit. And it invariably triggers all sorts of laughter whenever Josh sends that message. And so, Josh, if you're out there listening, hope you're having a good time and going fast, buddy. We'll see you at a IndyCar race sometime soon. Meanwhile, lap 98 of 125, and Zeth Hawley is coming down the pit lane. And so that answers the question. 39 laps was about as far as you could push it. Mike Corvo, he is now the last car on that strategy, and I don't know that Mike wasn't trying to get to pit lane there. He could have been and just didn't get there. We're going to get on board because I would be curious to know if he's run out. It looked a little bit like Zeth Hawley may have run short of fuel. Still under power, but it did cough a little bit. So right at the edge for Mike Corvo. He'll bring the 22 machine, the 97 machine to pit lane. 22g.org. Chris Schusler, he's in for a new pair of boots. Watch the pit stop for Corvo. 4 tires. Going to get enough Sunoco fuel to make it to the end. In the background, you see Sisk and Sisler come to pit lane. Away they go. We'll cover the stops for Caleb Sisk and Matt Sisler coming down pit road. Are these guys, I'm assuming these two would have tires left. They'll pull in, slide to a stop in their pit stalls. Up on the jacks goes Caleb Sisk. Same for Matt Sisler. Does anybody dare try 2 tires here? I haven't raced a stock car here enough to know whether 2 could work. I know it frees the car up. Both of these 2 down and away cleanly. Back onto the speedway. So pit stops underway. That's going to move That's going to move Paul Ferdigani, who has been up and down this order more than anyone today. That's going to put Paul Ferdigani in third, move Dylan Bryant to second, and on his new tires from previous, Sean Roberts in the Fast and the Furious Supra will assume the lead. 103 of one working lap 103 of 125
All right, man,
here.
Caution
Caution
is out.
is on the speedway. Looking for it. Don't see anybody going slow. Don't see anybody with damage. It's Nick Biddy from earlier. Could it have been Pasako? Don't see the reason for the caution, and that's likely just a error on my part. We're going to watch the pit stop here for Dylan Bryant, Sean Roberts, Paul Ferdigani. Those guys caught a huge break because Gones, Sizzler, the fast guys, the guys that had been up at the front of this thing for most of the event, had just stopped to take their final set of tires. And now you've got the people that stayed out. They're going to be able to come in, get new stuff, put on the fresh pair of boots, get back out on the racetrack under caution. Now, Gones, Sizzler, Hawley, Williams, Lawson, Welch, Corvu, Woodard, Coleman, Barris, Sharon, Endicott, Pasako, all of those cars are going to be at the tail end of the lead lap. And so they will get to come back around, and they've only been out for 4 or 5 laps. The issue, though, is that 4 or 5 laps is enough. Is it enough to knock the good off of these tires? With 20 laps to go, you don't really have to save all that much anymore. But is that going to be enough? Now, you've got a small heat cycle on them. They are going to cool down under caution. Tire temperature does matter here. But how much is it going to matter? And you look out, you kind of look out over the cars. There's Sean Roberts. Let's get Dylan Bryant, and let's just kind of see if we can't get a long view in front or behind Dylan Bryant. Let's have a look out the front. So all of those cars, if you see Ryan Pasako there, he's 22nd. All of those cars that you see in front of Dylan Bryant are the wave around cars. They're all going to be back on the lead lap here. When we get 1 to green, Dylan Bryant will assume the lead behind the pace car. But that's just kind of an odd deal when you get a caution in the middle of the pit cycle. You see all of these guys going to take the wave around. So just as soon as we see it, and I'm going to put up Chris Gones. Brandon McKinnon had made it past Gones on that cycle, and so McKinnon will get to go back on the lead lap. He had just stopped. And there you see the thundering herd. They're taking their time though, getting back up the lead lap, and that is not uncommon, especially at a tire saving track. You want to catch the back of the field, but you don't want to use up your stuff to get there and do it. Once again, would love to thank everybody who is currently watching. If you haven't already done so, make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons. It does help us out here with the YouTube algorithm. Also, would like to give a special thanks to Whiplash SimCams. They have so graciously agreed to sponsor us over here at P1, and so Whiplash SimCams, if you'd like the same views that we have tonight, the green flag is back out and racing resumes. 107 of 125, working 108 now. Dylan Bryant hits the loud pedal. He's going to get clear of Josh Moore and Sean Roberts as they'll battle for second. Bryant, your leader, then 2x2. Ferdiani is going to clear Joseph Bennett for fourth, so put Paul Ferdiani to fourth. Joseph Bennett goes to fifth. I cannot talk for some reason all of a sudden. Dylan Bryant has edged away. He's got about a half of a second lead. The battle, not for first or for second. The battle is for third, although Sean Roberts is desperately trying to reel in Joshua Moore, who has been from the front to the back, to the front, to the back, to the front, to the back, to the front of this field again, more times than I think I can count. And that gap now does stabilize. Going to have a look back at action further in the field. That's Jarrett Woodard on the top of the lapped car of Nicholas Tucker. Holy mackerel, you've got Mike Corvo. Meanwhile, Joshua Moore takes the fastest lap of the race. He's laying him down when it counts. Battles raging all over the speedway. The number 5 gets loose. That is Anthony Williams. He gets loose in turns 3 and 4. Again, that's about the 4th or 5th time that somebody's done that, and they've saved the race car. Wonderful, wonderful work there from Anthony Williams. But he'll drive back to the point. We got a crash in the background. Chris Schusler and others involved. And that is, unfortunately, the aforementioned number 5 machine of Anthony Williams. And let's see what we've got here. Into turn 1, a little bit of contact, hard in the wall for Williams, nowhere to go for Nicholas Tucker. Chris Schusler also in the fence. Schusler has already used his fast repair. Nicholas Tucker has exited this session, and so he is going to be out of the race, or at least is towing. As far as Anthony Williams goes, and let's see if we can't get live action on Anthony, there are all sorts of things that are bent on that number 5 machine, but you see it pop back into place. That's the magic of iRacing, the fast repair. Out goes Anthony Williams, brand new race car. He's going to beat the pace car and come back out after all that on the lead lap. Would like to thank the sponsors here for tonight's event. Accelerate your success with Track Bar Media, tailored for small business owners. We craft dynamic social media content, custom iRacing videos, and unique merch with no minimums. Maximize your reach with our national billboard placement and meet our elite Track Bar Motorsports esports team. Track Bar Media, affordable, impactful, and fast. Race on over to www.trackbarmedia.net now to learn more. Beadle's Custom Car Carriers creates 1/64 scale model car carriers, and we also make all of their own kits and all of our own kits in-house. We can make trucks to your specs. You can check me out at Beadle's Custom Car Carriers on Facebook and at Beadle's on Instagram. Davidson Builders LLC in Cape May County, New Jersey is a beacon of excellence in Cape May County and stands as a testament to family values and military dedication. As a veteran-owned and operated general contractor and remodeler with over 25 years of unmatched experience, we marry quality with affordability, from tailored customizations to expert craftsmanship. We paint dreams into reality across residential and commercial landscapes. Check them out. That's www.davidson-builders.com. Hey, Numb Thumbs racing fans, are you looking to upgrade your ride? Whether it's your truck, car, Jeep, boat, UTV, or ATV, Prospec has you covered. Locally owned and operated in Jacksonville, Florida, Duval County, Prospec specializes in high-quality accessories and installations that take your vehicle to the next level, from custom lighting like underglow and rock lights to top-of-the-line sound systems and backup cameras. We've got everything you need to make your ride truly yours. At Prospec, we bring your vision to life with precision and care. Visit us today and see why we're Jacksonville's go-to source for all things automotive and beyond. Prospec, where quality meets customization. We'd also like to thank here at P1 Whiplash Sim Cams for their help and support with the camera work. Definitely do appreciate them. Do want to also mention upcoming races on P1. So tonight, of course, the NTRL Prospec Xfinity Series is live. We've also got the ISRA Truck Series. Gary's doing that race down at Virtual Kentucky. Tomorrow is the signature broadcast. That is the top split. IndyCar iRacing official IndyCar Oval Series. That'll be at 8:15 Eastern Time. On September the 11th, the NASR Votive IndyCar Oval Series will have their season opener. I'll be on the call for that. Gary will be doing the VRL Truck Series. They'll be at Legacy Atlanta for the Hotlanta 200. And then on September 15th, we go prototype racing. So Sunday night, the EGP Hypercar Championship from Road America. That's Sunday at 1:30, and then the next race after that, right back here for the NTRL Prospec Xfinity Series, 8:10 next Monday night, NTRL Prospec Xfinity Series at Richmond. So that's the upcoming lineup here on P1. Lights are out on the pace car. Field under the control of leader Joshua Moore. Dylan Bryant is second. Sean Roberts, Joseph Bennett make up row 2. Paul Ferdiani and Chris Gones in the third row. Caleb Sisk, Paul Durkee, row 4. Matt Sisler, Scott Milner, row 5.
Green flag, green flag.
And once again, Joshua Moore gets into the gas first. He'll lead it away from Dylan Bryant. Sean Roberts now looks to the inside of Bryant. Roberts is going to make a bid for second here. They're going through turns 1 and 2. Roberts right down on that white line. Dylan Bryant has it just right up on the wall. The momentum's going to tell. Bryant's going to take second. Bryant wants the lead going into turn number 3. Love these drone cameras, by the way. Just such an excellent shot. It gives you of the number 8, Dylan Bryant, doing everything he can to catch the leader. Sean Roberts is third, and he's got a challenge now from Chris Gones in the 41, who has moved into fourth. And how about Joseph Bennett? He goes into fifth, takes it right off of Caleb Sisk. As they work back to the start-finish line, we have 9 laps to go. 9 laps to go here, 8 laps to go now in the Prospec NTRL Xfinity Series event here at Kansas. And what an event it's been. Love the series, love the different tire choices, love the different ways that guys have to think their way through the race, use some strategy, some differing calls here. At the front, it's Joshua Moore, and he's been to the front, to the back, to the front, to the back. more times than I can count. Chris Gones with a power move. He's going to go to third. He's looking now, see if he can't track down Dylan Bryant for second. Meanwhile, Sean Roberts goes all the way up into the Harry Gant / Dale Jr. / Richard Petty / Kyle Larson line, and we've got trouble in the back. That's Corvu. He spins. Looked like he made some contact with the 21 and then the 12. Do believe everybody got it saved. No yellow light. Racing will continue here. 6 laps to go. The battle is at the front, but the battle is also back around the number 93 machine of Matt Sisler. He's looking to get around and has gotten around Joseph Bennett, so put Sisler up to 6th. Every position for that 93 is important. Only a 2-point points lead. Only a 2-point points lead for him over Chris Gones, and Gones 3 positions ahead of Matt Sisler here. So that's huge. But also another position in between Sisler and Alfie Sharon Jr., who runs 12th. And we've got trouble again. We've got a crash on the back, and Sisler in the wall. Sisler in the wall. And you've got Sean Roberts, Ferdiani, the 78 of Alfie Sharon, and others. Holy mackerel. Massive accident here. 5 laps to go. That's definitely going to bring the next green-white checker here. And let's have a look and see exactly what happened between Sisler, Sean Roberts, and the rest. And so we're through 1 and 2 here. Just a little bit of that turn 2 loose. Matt Sisler with nowhere to go. Poor Paul Ferdiani. He gets just absolutely drilled by several different machines, and then we're gonna have to go to a different angle to sort the rest of this out. So here's Ferdiani, and he gets just tattooed by the number 13 machine of Paul Durkee. And let's see if we can't watch this just from the inside of Paul Durkee's machine here. Real time. It's much more effective that way. Again, you see Roberts get loose, and the track just is closed. Nowhere to go, and then he's going to get hit by the number 11 of Brandon Coleman. So we're going to see a lot of race cars, a lot of Xfinity machines now hit pit lane for their fast repair. Now, Sisler does have his. Coleman is on pit lane. It would appear that he has already used his. Paul Ferdiani has already used his. Mike Corvo is already back out on the racetrack, and so he has effected his fast repair and gone back out. Ferdiani did use his, and so that's the beauty of the fast repair, the digital world. You can essentially come in and take your spare car at any point in the race if you have damage. A lot of leagues like to use that because, you know, you get caught up in a mess that's not your own. You get another chance at it. But a big time blow from Matt Sisler for the championship hopes, because now, you know, if you've got tires, obviously you've taken them. I don't know that anybody has any of those left. Sisler going to come back down pit lane. He still has not fast repaired it. I would anticipate he's going to take that now. Still some damage on the 93. Just a tough break, and you can see it, the left front crinkled in on that Supra. And there he goes. So he does take the fast repair. Matt Sisler back out on the speedway, but he is going to be the final car on the lead lap. And there are 18 machines currently on the lead lap. We are led by Joshua Moore. He's first, so that's the 18. That's the 18 car. Second, the number 8 of Dylan Bryant. Third, the 41 of Chris Gones. Fourth, the 006 of Caleb Sisk. Fifth, great run for Joseph Bennett in the 00. He rides fifth. Scott Milner, give a shout out to him. It wasn't too long ago we saw him getting passed in wholesale fashion, but he's moved himself into sixth. Jarrett Woodard in the 79 is seventh. Ryan Pasacco, again, another guy that's been at every position in the field throughout the event. He is eighth. Zeth Hawley ninth. And the 55 of Tom Barish does currently run 10th. 11th, Sean Roberts. Thomas Welch is 12th. Justin Lawson 13th. Benjamin McKinnon 14th. Matt Sizzler 15th. Paul Ferdiani is 16th. Russell Endicott 17th and Brandon Coleman 18th. All of those cars on the lead lap. One lap down, Brandon Coleman 19th. Mike Corvo 19th. Paul Durkee 20th. Derek Welch 21st. Corvu, Durkee, and Welch, one lap in arrears. Jesse Redding and Alfie Sharon Jr., 2 laps down. Anthony Williams has retired in 24th. There, I believe, are enough laps for Chris Schusler to pass him. So that is a battle for position. Can Schusler make up the laps to pass Anthony Williams for 24th? Nicholas Tucker is out of the race. Nick Biddy is still circulating, although I do not believe he can make up any time. Michael Bennett, Andy Sizemore out,
green flag.
as is Crystal Volano. Green flag out, 2 to go. Green-white checker. In effect, here at Kansas, this is a natural green-white checker. And what a beautiful jump from Joshua Moore as they haul off into turn number one more time. Meanwhile, Chris Gones works to the inside of Dylan Bryant. He's going to try to grab second. Caleb Sisk, an interested third party to that battle, in fourth, and he's going to swing it to the high side and see if he can't make further progress. In the third. Top 5 under a blanket here. Final lap. White flag in the air. Dylan Bryant goes to the bottom. He pushes to the top. Sisk going to make it 3 wide. They all hold it. Going through turn number 2, 3 wide for second. Joshua Moore has the lead. Who's gonna take the battle for second, though? What an amazing race here. Joshua Moore, Dylan Bryant gets loose. Meanwhile, Joseph Bennett spins it to the inside. Joshua Moore wins it. Caleb Sisk is going to be second. Chris Gones third. Dylan Bryant fourth. Zeth Hawley brings it home fifth. Joseph Bennett with that wild slide through turns 3 and 4 will come home sixth. And let's take you back. There were several things that happened on that last corner that we'd like to show you. So here's the first one. That's going to be Joseph Bennett. Gets down, saves the car. He's going to get home sixth. In the background, Sean Roberts also went for a ride. And let's see what happened to Sean. Coming off the corner, contact between he and Ryan Pasacco. They both spin. That allows Scott Milner and Thomas Welch to sneak to their inside. Roberts comes home 13th. And so that was the other incident at the end of the race. But the winner, Joshua Moore, he'll burn it down. He's got the entire team out there, the 18, the 24. Paul Ferdiani was also celebrating at start finish. We'll give you the flag stand view, but your winner, Joshua Moore. And that'll bring us to the final results here for the NTRL Prospec Xfinity Kansas 125. Joshua Moore, your winner. He made up one spot, started on the outside of the front row, although that does not tell the story. I believe he passed more cars than anybody on the speedway. He did make 6 pit stops, led 33 laps, and set the fastest lap. Caleb Sisk, second. Chris Gones rounds out your podium. Dylan Bryant, fourth. Seth Hawley, fifth. Joseph Bennett, sixth. Jarrett Woodard, seventh. Thomas Welch, eighth. Scott Milner, ninth. And Ryan Pisacco rounds out your top 10. In 11th, Matt Sisler, Tom Barris, 12th. Sisler caught up in a late race accident for the points leader. Sean Roberts, 13th. He also was involved in a couple of late race incidents. Paul Ferdiani, 14th. Ferdiani, 14th. Benjamin McKinnon, 15th. Russell Endicott, 16th. Justin Lawson, 17th. Brandon Coleman, 18th. Mike Corvo, 19th. And Derek Welch brings it home, 20th. Paul Durkee is 21st this evening. Alfie Sharon Jr., disappointing result for Alfie, 22nd. Jesse Redding, 23rd. Anthony Williams, 24th. Chris Schusler, 25th. Not finishing today, Nicholas Tucker, 26th. Nick Biddy, 27th. Michael Bennett, 28th. Andy Sizemore, 29th. And Crystal Volano did not take the start in tonight's event, but credited with 30th in the 07. Let's get some winter action set here for you. Maybe. There we go. And I appreciate everybody's patience. It took me a second there. Also, just kind of wanted to catch my breath. About out of voice. So let's go ahead and bring up Chris, Mr. President Gones. Chris, Mark in the P1 Broadcasting booth. You got a copy?
Hey, Mark, what's going on? Yes, sir.
An interesting race for sure. Talk to me about tires. When did you choose to take them and why?
They were sketchy after about 20 laps, and with the limited tires that we had over the wall, we really had to make them last anywhere between 60 and 70. So for 2/3 of the run, it was incredibly scary. The plan was coming in. We kind of worked the race backwards a little bit. So anything after lap 20, we wanted to pit and take fuel because then we could basically one stop or take tires each stop after that. And cautions fell and everything like that, so it just kind of worked out to our favor a little bit there at the end, not really so much in the middle. But I think we took our first set of tires around 60, probably 60, 62, something like that. And the way the cautions fell, I mean, we tried to keep up with people that were kind of short pitting there around 95, so they didn't get out to too much of a lead. And as we were coming out of the pits, caution came out, so trapped us a lap down, but got the lucky dog, luckily, and for that caution, and it put us back out there. So, but yeah, it was just scary. And that last run on 20-lap-old tires was a handful as well.
Yeah, it most certainly is, and we could see guys getting loose off of turn 2 and turn 4 all day long. Did want to congratulate you. I think between you and Josh and Caleb, I bet the podium passed an even 100 cars tonight. It was pretty fun to watch all you guys work your way from the back to the front. You do leave with the unofficial, by my tally, points lead. You were two behind Matt Sisler coming in here, and of course he had some late race trouble, and so I know it's not a win, but that's kind of a win, right? To lead with a points lead. So good on that.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, no doubt. Absolutely. It's always nice to, be up there, getting closer to the playoffs. I mean, I think we're locked in. I think if you win, you're locked in as long as you meet a certain amount of races and stuff. So I think with the Dover win that we had earlier in the season, we're locked in. So I just want to stay up there as far as I can to put us in a good spot. So, the goal is to kind of keep it up there and make sure we can run at the front. And but like you said, it was a handful trying to come through the field with Caleb and Josh and Dylan and those guys. So that last lap, 3 wide there with me and Caleb and Dylan was, I think I was steering the car to the right as much as I was to the left there through 3 and 4. So glad that we didn't kill each other. So, but just happy to bring her home and look forward to next week for sure.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Chris, for joining us in the booth. Friends, family, sponsors you'd like to give a shout out to this evening?
Yep, as usual, definitely the guys over NTRL, DW and Mark and those guys over there just putting on a fun league. Yeah, you guys here, Mark, P1, coming in mid-season. I know it's always a kind of a tough thing learning new guys halfway through the season and everything. But you guys are doing a heck of a job, and we appreciate you. With Popple on the car, if you need a digital business card, definitely look them up. My teammates over at Track Bar Motorsports, with Jesse Redding and Alfie Charon here tonight. Want to shout out Zach Millett, another teammate, was spotting for us. That is 4 guy on Twitch for him. Track Bar Media, Eric Dotson, State Farm Agency, Castle Products, HBR TV. But I think that's pretty much everybody. I'm sure there's somebody I forgot, so they'll find me later.
In my experience, there always is, Chris. There always is. Well, congratulations on the 3rd place, bottom step of the podium today. Go celebrate and enjoy it. All right, keep going fast and having fun.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. That is Chris Gones, P3 this evening from Kansas. Let's bring up Caleb Sisk. Caleb Sisk, Mark Murphy in the P1 broadcasting booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, what an interesting race that was. I was telling Chris, I said, man, I think between you and Josh and him, I think you guys might have passed over 100 cars between the 3 of you.
Well, it was a wild one, and it was a lot of fun. It did feel like we passed a lot of cars, but I felt like we led a lot of laps too there in the middle of it. So, kind of a unique race there.
Yeah, most certainly was. Tell me, how scary is it? I mean, I'm an IndyCar guy by trade, so typically we don't have a lot of races where there's huge speed differentials. Everybody the tires take about the same amount of time as the fuel, and they're normally unlimited, so we don't usually have the disparity in tires. But talk to me, what's that like when you've got new shoes and the people around you don't?
It just takes a ton of discipline, and you got to remember it's really hard to not want to run your line and run optimum speed, and sometimes you have to kind of know who you're around and what they're going to do. And if you predict wrong and you're carrying a lot of speed, that's how you end up in an accident, and it happens. I mean, I don't know how many yellows we had tonight, but it's tough sometimes to avoid them. You get close racing, and these things were pretty free on exit, which I love. I mean, it was so much fun driving tonight. Hats off to NTRL for putting this on the schedule. It was a blast.
Yeah, it definitely looked like it was fun. I don't necessarily know that I like my cars that free, but then again, I'm used to a little bit more aero than you guys are. So it's definitely a different style for sure. But watching you go through 3 and 4 there at the end up the middle, you can see the hands inside the wheel. You can see you sawing on it, trying to keep it straight. That's so cool. But congratulations again, another great night. You're gonna pick up a ton of points on Matt Sisler and Alfie Sharon. I know it's probably not the win you wanted, but a great night for the championship deal. You got any friends, family, sponsors you'd like to shout out this evening?
Give a huge shout out to Assist Speed Shop. That's my own speed shop. We're working with a couple guys, some teammates, and the improvements are really showing. I'm really, really proud of what they're doing. I know Nick got caught up in some stuff tonight, but my teammates that aren't here, Skyler and Connor, I'm not sure if Connor's going to be racing much more in the Gen 6 due to some work conflicts. Skunkworks Graphics for wrapping the car. Appreciate them. NTRL, again, putting this on the schedule. What an awesome event. It was a ton of fun. I wish we had a few less yellows, but, it's going to happen. I mean, that's just that's the nature of the beast, as I guess they would say. The admin team, people don't realize how many hours they put in at night, staying up, trying to get these calls right. And whether you think they're right or wrong, I mean, I get upset too when they come my way, but it just kind of, that's the nature of the beast. Appreciate you guys for broadcasting. It's not easy to come to a different discipline. I mean, I grew up racing late model stocks, so I'm used to sawing on the wheel on turn exit, and tonight was just so much fun for me, and I felt like I was in just playground mode, and that's why we all come out here. If you're not having fun, you need to stop coming out here because, man, I had a blast tonight. I can't wait for next week.
Well, that's my motto, go fast and have fun, and certainly you did that tonight, Caleb. Great run a second, and keep on going fast and having fun, my friend.
Appreciate it, sir.
Yes, sir. That's Caleb Sisk, second today, and we'll go ahead and bring up Joshua Moore. Josh, congratulations, P1 on P1. Josh Moore, Mark Murphy in the P1 broadcasting booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, you're P1 on P1, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So, I don't know how many cars you passed. The people on the broadcast are gonna be tired of me saying it, but I've got to say it to each one of you. I think between the top three, you passed over 100 combined, and I think you passed more than the other two combined. At one point, I think you were the last car on the lead lap twice. So, kind of walk me through your race. How did you manage to go from the back to the front to the back to the front, and then wind up at the front when it counted?
Yeah, a lot of different strategies were going on in the race. I qualified pretty well. I didn't get that many laps in practice, but it felt extremely loose, and I knew that I'd be quick early on, but I'd fall off towards the end. I'm really bad at saving the right rear tire. I'll always burn it up no matter what car I'm in. But I knew I'd be fast in the short run and slow in the long run. So I tried to set myself up for the short run, which is why I tried so many different strategies. I took tires earlier than everyone else. I thought maybe I didn't think I'd be quite as fast as Caleb and Chris there. So I thought I'd try something different. Caution ended up coming out and screwing me a little bit. But we were able to get back on a different strategy. I think it was around 16th when that long run came out, and when everyone pit in when the top cars pit in for gas, I figured I'd go in with them and then try to stretch it out and hopefully get a caution, which ended up doing. And then I figured I got a pretty good short run car, so I thought I'd be able to run to the front, and that's basically what ended up happening there.
Yeah, there you go, man. Well done, of course. We saw a whole bunch of guys getting wicked free off of 2 and off of 4. How did you manage to avoid that? Because that claimed, I think it got Sizzler twice, but there were at least a half a dozen cars that nearly spun coming off of 2, especially. What was your secret to getting off of that corner? Because you would gain a car length or two every lap out of turns 2 and 4.
I think I was sideways basically every corner, so I think I was just used to it more than everyone else, and I was able to drive off the corner. But I was trying to manage my throttle, which usually I'm not too good at, but I guess I was good enough tonight. But I was basically right turning. I was basically dirt tracking off of 2 and 4 about every lap. It was a lot of fun, but definitely killed my tires.
Good deal. Well, Joshua, congratulations on your win. Friends, family, sponsors, anybody you'd like to give a shout out to this evening. Floor is yours.
Yeah, first off, I got to thank Bruce Muehlberger with Muehlberg Custom Homes. He sponsors me and a couple other guys that I normally race with. Then I got to thank my team, my boys, plus EV. I got to thank Paul, Zeph. I can't forget anyone. Andy. And Joe. Those guys are so much fun to race with every week. They're a blast. Sometimes these Monday and Tuesday nights are the highlight of my week. But and then I got to thank my parents for letting me do this sometimes. My Wi-Fi at college for working. And then lastly, I got to thank you for broadcasting this.
Thank you so much, Joshua. That means a lot. You keep going fast, keep having fun, keep standing on the top step, my friend.
All right, thanks, man.
Yes, sir. So that is Josh Moore. He is tonight's winner here at Kansas. And so that brings me to the close. I've tried to promise everybody that I would do a little bit better every week. And so tonight, I felt like we did a little bit better, as always, thanks to Gary and thanks to Derek, everybody at the NTRL and P1 that lets me do this. I have an absolute blast broadcasting these races, especially ones like this where you have to think your way through them. It's not just go stand on the button, come to pit road, get new tires, rinse, lather, and repeat. You really have to think your way through these races, and we've seen time and again that the cream will rise to the top when it comes to races where you have to think your way through them. And so congratulations to Josh Moore, Caleb Sisk, and Chris Goins for the podiums. Dylan Bryant had an amazing run, led some laps today. Zeth Hawley sneaks into 5th place. What a crafty run he had to get there. Joseph Bennett, a car that we haven't seen up front in these broadcasts on many occasions. He was up there. Jarrett Woodard in the 79, he was up at the front. So many different guys. Scott Milner came home 9th. So many different guys made wonderful runs from the back to the front to the back to the front today. And ultimately, that's highly entertaining. And so I thank the NTRL, I thank Prospec and Derek and everybody involved with this league for giving me shot after shot. I'd also like to thank our military, our first responders, policemen, firemen, paramedics, everybody out there that does everything every day and every night when we're awake or asleep to keep us safe. For P1 Broadcasting, I am Mark Murphy signing off from virtual Kansas. Everybody out there, keep going fast, having fun, and we'll see you next week.